1978, a team of 7 archaeologists began an unauthorized excavation deep in the western Egyptian desert. The site had no official coordinates, no permits, and no record in any archive. Yet satellite images revealed something impossible, a perfect rectangular void hidden beneath the dunes. On the 3rd day, they uncovered a sealed doorway engraved with hieroglyphs that warned. The team dismissed it as superstition. Cameras rolled. At precisely 14:27, they broke the seal. This breath must never be released. 3 days later, all 7 were dead. Their lungs were packed with fine desert sand, and the temperature around the site had dropped 3 degrees below the desert average. The Ministry of Antiquities confiscated every document. Only one recording survived. 6 slow inhalations, a faint pause, then a man's voice whispering, "He's still breathing." Historians traced the tomb to a ruler erased from every dynastic list, King Neb-ka-re. His reign was shrouded in fear, his name chiseled off temple walls. Ancient texts call him a tyrant who defied the gods and ruled through terror. He drained the Nile's tributaries to build shimmering pools, where only he could gaze upon the reflection of the sun. His armies raided villages, offering the children to rituals of false immortality. When drought and famine came, he accused the gods of betrayal and ordered his priests to capture the divine wind, to bind the breath of heaven itself. The priests obeyed once, but then they turned on him. The rebellion was merciless. Thousands stormed the palace. When they reached the throne room, neb-ka-re stood laughing, declaring that he could never die, for the gods had made his spirit eternal through air. Swords couldn't pierce him, brutal fire wouldn't burn him. So his own priests devised a punishment beyond death. They mummified him alive. Boiling resin filled his mouth and throat. Linen wrapped over open eyes. His final breath was sealed within the wrappings, a living soul imprisoned in air. His tomb became both his cage and his curse, until the seal was broken. What the archaeologists released was not a corpse, it was a consciousness carried on the wind. The first to die was the lead excavator. His radio caught low, rhythmic murmurs, and when he inhaled, his chest collapsed inward. The others followed within hours. The generator failed, yet a distant chanting rolled across the dunes, a hollow rhythm that matched the breathing on the tape. The last survivor fled, leaving behind his final message. The sand is alive. They found him half buried, face up, as though gasping for the sky. When the artifacts reached Cairo, the city began to suffocate. People complained of tightening lungs. Streetlights flickered, and entire districts were dusted in a pale gray film. Hospitals overflowed with patients unable to exhale. Security cameras in the subway recorded translucent figures shaped like expanding lungs, pulsing in the darkness. Atmospheric sensors captured pressure waves repeating 6 times every minute, the same pattern recorded in the tomb. Authorities declared a quarantine zone, but the phenomenon spread faster than containment. Weather stations reported massive pressure oscillations above the desert. Pilots described cloud formations twisting against the prevailing wind, converging into a colossal vortex shaped like an open human mouth. Linguists decoding the background chants from the expedition tapes uncovered a recurring phrase. Translation: the breath returns to its master. A special task force was sent to reseal the site. Among them was Dr. Karim El-Haddad, the archaeologist who first deciphered the curse. His final transmission, moments before contact was lost, said, "The air is too heavy to move." 3 hours later, Cairo's entire power grid failed. By dawn, the city was buried beneath a veil of sand. Surveillance drones later captured footage of a massive silhouette rising from the haze, a human form towering above the skyline, its chest expanding with each gust of wind. For decades, officials dismissed it as a freak sandstorm. Yet independent scientists analyzing atmospheric data discovered a persistent anomaly. Every night at exactly 2:27 a.m., Barometric pressure across North Africa fluctuates 6 times per minute, the same tempo as the breathing on the recording. Audio engineers identified faint harmonic frequencies within the wind, matching the phonetic structure of neb-ka-re's ancient dialect. If the legend is true, neb-ka-re's curse was never about death. It was about reclamation. He believed breath belonged to the gods alone. When his final exhalation was trapped inside that tomb, he vowed one day he would reclaim every stolen breath from mankind. The archaeologists merely opened the door. The rest of us inhaled what escaped. Today, monitoring stations still detect the pulse each night. Researchers say the rhythm is growing stronger. The air feels heavier, the nights unnervingly still, as though the world itself is holding back a breath. And when the desert wind drifts through your window, carrying that faint whisper, listen carefully. Count the rhythm. 6 slow inhalations, each about 10 seconds apart. If you feel the pressure building behind your ribs, do not exhale, because what was entombed beneath the sands is no longer buried. It is here, in the air around you, ancient, conscious, and waiting for you to breathe it in.